G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. As always, thank you for watching this video and giving me the pleasure and the absolute privilege to talk about rugby. Yes, Super Rugby quarterfinals, the final game, Brumbies has beaten my team, unfortunately, Hurricanes to advance to the semi-finals. And yeah, this was a really tight game, really entertaining. Took the Brumbies 84 minutes to finally win the game. Hurricanes was denied a try right at the end. Looked like Adi Savia may have grounded the ball at the end, but before he was held up over the try line. But there was no camera footage, and the referee on the field, Nick Berry, the best referee in Australia, says he could not see a grounding on the field, and yeah, no try. And Adi Savia didn't look happy, but it is what it is. It happens. When you go for those 50-50 sort of situations, you got to make sure that you make a clear grounding. Yeah, and a couple of things I want to talk about of this game. First up, the Brumbies. I'm really grateful that one Australian team has made it to the semi-finals, but the Brumbies, man, just so difficult to like. It's just, such a talented team, such a good, base. The Stephen Larkham has turned this team from just literally penalty milkers 12 months ago to like a legitimate team with good fundamentals, good attacking patterns, good scrum, good maul, and really well-rounded team, right? And this everything that is to like about the Brumbies, except the way they act around the field, man. Like the unsportsmanlike conduct around the field. I just, it really makes it difficult for me to like the Brumbies. There was like, there was one point in the game that really stood out to me when Tom Wright went in for the final try, basically, to put the Brumbies ahead. He did a really good run, this nice angle, went over two defenders. He was that strong with speed, hit the line with a lot of speed, and went over the try line. And yeah, that was great. Well done. He gets up. Ruben Love was one of the players that was hanging on to him and failed to make a tackle. He gets up and just blatantly shoves Ruben Love to the ground as he's getting up. Like, man, there's absolutely no need to do that. Like, I just shake my head, man. Like, especially when Tom Wright misses tackles left and right on the field. You don't do that, man. You don't do that after you miss a bunch of tackles. To come out and just push someone into the ground after you've already scored. It's just so, like, such poor character as a person, right? I mean, Tom Wright, you're not a perfect player, okay? You're not the best player in the Wallabies. And I know there's some media saying that you're going to be the best fullback in the world. Some bullshit, right? Stop drinking your own Kool-Aid and actually work on the stuff that you need to work on, right? Make your tackles first, okay? Before you start acting like, the second coming of who knows what, right? Like, it was just, I thought it was really poor character from Tom Wright to do that. A lot of the players weren't happy, bit of push and shoving as a result of it. But yeah, it's just, I thought, like, it just makes the team so difficult to like. Players acting like that. I thought I was, I was really a little bit disappointed once again with Tom Wright when it comes to these little things. Overall, I thought the Hurricanes perspective, again, I thought the coaching from the Hurricanes, really, who's like the attacking coach of the Hurricanes, right? Hurricanes had basically, again, every game seems to be, other than the first try where Nadolo went into the corner, was some nice, good hands, some structured rugby. The Hurricanes could not string together like any sort of meaningful attack for the entire game outside of like the first try. So for 79 minutes plus, even the last few minutes, it was just very basic, very flat crash ball. And they do that the whole game, and they couldn't break the Brumbies defense. And what really, like, I thought was really disappointing, especially considering how much offensive talent that the Hurricanes have in their disposal, right? They have Jordie Barrett, one of the best players in the world, and maybe the best fullback in the world. Like, he wasn't put in any sort of position to make any sort of meaningful gain for the whole game. Like no one was setting him up for anything. And they also had what was Julian Savia. Loholo obviously was playing. I think Julian Savia is out, but you have Artie Savia, one of the strongest ball carriers in the game. Dan Coles himself, a really good ball carrier, and you have Karefi coming off the bench. Billy Proctor, one of the best line breakers in New Zealand. You have so much talent in the Hurricanes team, and all they managed to muster for most of the game is just like crash ball, crash ball, crash ball, crash ball. What are we gonna do now? Artie Savia, why don't you pick and go and see how far you can take the team on your shoulders, right? I was just so surprised how poor the attacking structure is for the Hurricanes. And the two other tries, one of the Artie Savia, again, Artie Savia pick and go, as Britting Aizozi gets one try. Flanders basically got a runaway free try as well out of a loose ball, out of the scrum. Poor tackling by the Brumbies part, especially when Tom Wright was the one that misses the final tackle that he needed to make. That's basically the Hurricanes' tries from the game. And really, yeah, I thought was really for the whole season now, the Hurricanes' attack has been very, very flat. The Brumbies, on the other hand, was able to, utilize the width, utilize a lot of depth in their attack, got, good set piece. I think they got a more try at some point as well. And, the Brumbies look way more threatening. But once again, as always, every week, it seems to be an ongoing issue with the Brumbies is that defense kind of on and off at times. Sometimes they're like really good. Sometimes you just see like literally like 5 people falling off a tackle, like the Flanders try. Falls over a lot. The loose head flanker just bumps off like 5 people, runs over Tom Wright, and then goes in for the try for like 60 meters. That seems to be an ongoing issue for Brumbies as well. But I thought it was good. I thought this was a very, very entertaining match. Overall, let's look at some stats. Brumbies 5 tries to 3 over the Hurricanes. Run meters are quite similar. 412 run meters for Brumbies. Hurricanes actually edged themselves ahead, 426 in the last, I guess, the extra time when the Hurricanes was just, pounding the Brumbies try line. The turnovers conceded. This is something that the Hurricanes probably would like to close out a bit. 13 turnovers conceded to the Brumbies 6. Tackles made, the Brumbies 203 tackles, 30 missed tackles. Like I said, the Brumbies defense is quite good. But then there's just periods where like nobody suddenly seems to know how to make a tackle. I don't know why that's the case. It's some kind of like maybe they've had some issue with the diet or something. Like everybody's having these crashes at certain points of the game where they just can't focus or make tackle anymore. I don't know what's going on with the Brumbies team. I don't know. Maybe have cut out the gummy bears before the kickoff. I don't know. There seems to be a crash of the Brumbies defense every now and then in fact every game. So 30 missed tackles with the Brumbies. The Hurricanes actually has better tackle completion rate, much better defense. 145 tackles made, 15 missed tackles. That is really, really good percentage-wise. Kicks in play, 21 for the Brumbies, 16 against the Hurricanes. A couple missed conversions for the Brumbies. 1 missed conversion for Jordie Barrett, much, much better. Unlike a few weeks ago where he like missed everything. Essentially, the scrums I thought was quite even. I thought, it was the Brumbies definitely look like stronger at times. The Hurricane scrum definitely pancaked a couple times, leading to penalties. But I thought it was quite even overall. Keep in mind the Hurricanes do have the All Blacks tight head, and potentially Owen Franks might get a spot this year off the bench as well for the Hurricanes. Maybe not. Owen Franks might not even get a bench spot for the All Blacks. But yeah, the Hurricanes do have a pretty good front row. And the Brumbies was able to put quite a bit of pressure on, I thought. Penalties conceded 10 against the Brumbies, 7 against the Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes was able to keep themselves in the game with a lot of penalty goals and was able to stay really, really close all the way till the end before they held up over the try line on Artie Savia. Again, like, you knew it was going to be Artie Savia eventually tries to go over the try line for a held up play, for a try. Like, Jordie Barrett hardly touched the ball at the end. When he did get the ball at the end, he was flat. Shorty, I was like, if Jordie Barrett has some depth, one person, if there was anyone like takes the ball and then put an offload, a short pass to Jordie Barrett at speed, surely that's a try, right? Like we saw Jordie Barrett do this again and again for the All Blacks. Nobody set it up for him. Nobody was able to carry the ball forward and then just pop it to Geordie Barrett. Yeah, it was just really disappointing to see from the Hurricanes fans' perspective. So let's go through some of the key moments of the game. The Brumbies was able to actually get the Hurricanes, like I said, was able to get a try on the ball 1 minute into the game. So there was Hurricanes just building some nice pressure, some really quick ball. The Brumbies was not committing the breakdown at all, so the Hurricanes was just literally getting the ball out and then getting over the advantage and again, and then rinse and repeat, got really close to the try line, and then a long ball goes out wide again. I think it was Geordie Barrett, long ball out wide to Artie Savia right on the wing. He runs down as he's getting pushed out. He throws the ball back in field. Naholo runs in for the first try for the Hurricanes, and there was a lot of missed tackles for the Brumbies. It was looking like Brumbies was a bit surprised about the pace that the Hurricanes brought out. 8 minutes into the game, the Brumbies hit the back with their own try. Sapsford gets the return for the Brumbies, and then 13 minutes into the game, Hurricanes gets a penalty. I was wondering if the Hurricanes was going to go for the tries, but they opted for the 3 points. And luckily, Geordie Barrett had his kicking boots on, takes a 3. So 7 points to the 10, 13 minutes into the game. 15 minutes into the game, there was some from the kickoff, from the penalty they just kicked, the Brumbies was able to pressure the kickoff and gets themselves a penalty. They go for the 5-meter line out. They just, crash the ball. Debreczeni was on the open side. He crashed the ball open side, almost sets one of the Brumbies through, and then the ball swings down to the blind side. Debreczeni once again gets the ball, takes on the try line, again like himself this time, had a bit of a space, just cuts himself through the defense, goes in for the second try for the Brumbies. 50 minutes into the game, 14 points to 10, and then the Hurricanes seem to be really happy to just keep the game ticking over with penalties. After this try was scored, 21 minutes into the game, Hurricanes gets another penalty where Tom Wright grabs a player in the on the grabber. So there was a high ball. Tom Wright was challenging the high ball. He missed the ball and he just went grab onto the player's head regardless. Again, he was like, oh, it's trying to grab the ball, and it was just kind of stupid, like I said. So Tom Wright gives her the penalty. Hurricanes takes another 3, 14 points to 13, 20 minutes into the game. 24 minutes in the game, Brumbies gets another opportunity. The Brumbies get an opportunity inside the Hurricanes 22. There was a nice period of pressure by the Brumbies. There was a deliberate knock on by the Hurricane player, one-handed. It should have been a yellow card, but yeah. The referee, Nick Berry, best referee in Australia, and he says, no, it was okay, it was just a knock-on. So it was centre-field scrum for the Brumbies. It turns out it wasn't actually that bad of a decision for the Brumbies, because it was right in front of the goalpost. Probably a scrum would have been a better option anyway than a line-out. But still, it probably should have been yellow card. The Brumbies goes for scrum, just gets the ball out, spreads it out to the open side. Len Ikishau gets the ball, speed, jets, carves through 2 defenders and then straight through for another try for the Brumbies. Debreczeni missed the conversion, 19 points to 13. 28 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes again just milking a penalty a little here. One of the Brumbies player, I think it was, who was it? Who was the Brumbies player? I think it was Blackwell. No, sorry, Nick Frost. I think it was Nick Frost, not Blackwell. Nick Frost. He was on the ground. He gets up, and then the Hurricanes number 9 just throws the ball at him, really blatantly milking for a penalty. Nick White wasn't happy. Had a chat with the referee, Nick Berry. Nick Berry's like, yeah, that's fine. Penalty is a penalty. So Hurricanes milks that one. They takes another 3, ticks the scoreboard to 19 points to 16. 30 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes gets caught offside. Brumbies takes a 3, 22 points to 16. 37 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes scrum pancaked, and Brumbies was able to get another penalty. The kicks another 3, 25 points to 16. And there was a so that's half time. Second half starts. There was a bit of a niggling going on around the field. I think there was a play where Nick White was taken out at the halfback position, but the referee, Nick Berry, the best referee in Australia, said it was okay. So Nick White was not happy. It's actually against the rule to take out the halfback, but you could argue that he was in the ruck, I guess. But anyway, he got taken out. He wasn't happy. So there was a bit of a push and shoving going on with involving Dan Coles, and that niggling really kind of like put the Brumbies off. The Hurricanes, after they had a bit of a niggle, kind of like, really shifted the gear, whereas the Brumbies, after the niggling, they just look like really a bit off. Maybe like, I guess mentally was a bit, was a bit, I don't know, was lacked a bit of focus mentally, right? So as a result, Hurricanes gets a try. 47 minutes into the game, they get a they get a penalty. I think they took a quick tab. Yeah, they took a quick tab. Adi Savia said there was basically a breakdown. Adi Savia pick and go, and goes in for the try. Oh no, actually it was a line out. It was a line out, and it was a quick breakdown, and then Adi Savia scooped the ball up, goes in for the try. Suddenly the Hurricanes are up 23 points to 25. A few minutes later, Hurricanes had another opportunity to kick for 3. They missed that one. And it looks like the Brumbies was really like off. They were just giving away a lot of penalties at this point, a lot of missed balls. 53 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes got a bit lucky there. This was a really bad call by the referee. I felt like, again, best referee in the world. Hurricanes was about 5 meters out, and there was no one on the breakdown for the Hurricanes. It was like one person. And then like 3 Brumbies play essentially like counter rucks this. And then Nick Berry says, unplayable. And instead of giving the ball to the Brumbies, who were actually going forward, he gives the scrum to the Hurricanes for a 5-meter scrum. But yeah, it was a really bad call by Nick Berry once again. The Brumbies was losing a bit of composure at this point, giving away another penalty a few minutes later, and Hurricanes kicks another 3, gets themselves ahead, 26 points to 25. There was more niggling after this was scored. There was so the Hurricanes once again had a scrum. So around the 59 minutes into the game, they had Hurricanes a scrum like literally like 60 meters out from the try line. The scrum gets wheeled, and it looked like the Brumbies had a dominant scrum. There could have been a penalty for the Brumbies. The ball kind of pops out the side. Like, that should have been like, I'm pretty sure you can't have the ball exit out of the side. Like, the ball has to go out from the back. You can't have it come out where the flanker is. But this is basically what happened. The ball popped out where the flanker is. Pretty sure that should have been a reset or like a penalty. I don't think that was a legal scrum, to be frank with you. But anyway, the ball pops out of the side where the number 6 is, and the Hurricanes number 6, Flanders, picks up the ball like he's the number 8, runs 60 meters down the line. He bumps off a bunch of defenders. Tom Wright, last line of defender, comes up, gets absolutely demolished, misses the tackle. As you would expect. I mean, seen that too many times from Tom Wright these days. And yes, Flanders runs in for a try for the Hurricanes. And suddenly the Hurricanes are ahead 33 points to 25. Yeah. The Brumbies finally gets themselves, like, after the try score, finally pull themselves together and settle themselves down a bit from the niggling that happened a bit earlier. And then there was a Brumbies was doing there was a really nice kick behind and what was his name? I think it was Ruben Love. Oh, he's not. Is this Ruben Love on? I think it was Ruben Love. He got the ball inside his own 22, and then Len Ikitau really pressured this, makes a tackle, turns over the ball, gets a penalty 5 meters out from the Hurricanes try line. Brumbies goes for the maul, and then 5 meter maul, and then immediately it worked. Goes in for the try. Scoreboard reduces down to 30 points to 33. The 17 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes just really tried to hold on to their 3 points. Brumbies was able to get themselves much better in terms of discipline, not giving away any penalties. 17 minutes into the game, Brumbies gets another penalty. Again, they could have gone for the 3-point and leveled the score. I was really happy they didn't. They kicked the ball out for a penalty for line out. The line out comes out for another penalty advantage. Instead of going for another line out, they take a quick tap and go. There was a lot of defenders being drawn in. Eventually, the ball goes out wide to Tom Wright, who slides into the corner. And then there was a fight erupting. Tom Wright decides to get off the ground, shoves Ruben Loves to the ground as he's getting up. Yeah, really don't need that. Tom Wright, it was just uncalled for, really bad sportsmanship. And then, but regardless, Noah Lolosio was on the field at this point, and this was a really important kick right from the sideline. He slots this one, 37 points to 33. So what this means is that the Hurricanes have to score a try to win the game. They can't just kick a three-pointer. So yeah, the game carried on all the way to the 83rd minute. The 84th minute, Hurricanes was pounding the try line, but eventually Adi Savia decided to pull the trigger. And held up over the try line. No footage showing the ball touching the ground. There was a hand underneath it the whole time. And and that is what it is. The Brumbies advanced to the semifinals, 37 points to 33, holds on. And they will be playing against the Chiefs next week in where is it? Well, where's the Chiefs ground? Waikato? I don't know. Where's the Chiefs from? Someone will let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next week for the semifinals and the news. Cheers.